Alright, so we're moving on with the bus build. On the last episode, you saw me take and build this dovetail on the back of the bus. You can see it in the background here. The next thing we gotta do is build a gate. One of the things we have to figure out with this gate, it's going to be a huge gate and we need to make a hinge. So I got this, I believe it's 1.5 inches, 445, I don't know, 245 wall. But anyways, this tubing, it is perfect for a piece of 1-inch round bar. So I got this 1-inch round bar. That's going to go through here. We're going to cut this up into individual pieces, and this is going to become our hinge for our big gate. And then I'm standing on the expanded metal here, which is going to be the floor of our gate. And then our piece of 1-inch bar, which is like a special kind of material. I believe it's 4140 or something like that. But anyways, it's packaged, our 1-inch bar is packaged up inside here for now. So we gotta unpack that, but we gotta finish cutting up our hinge material into 6-inch sections. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hang the first piece of tubing with the hinge, and then we'll build the gate actually after. Oh geez, what am I doing? So there's our piece of round bar, and this is going to slide perfectly. This will slide perfectly inside this piece of tubing, and then we'll have multiple pieces of this 6-inch sections of this tubing, and half of them will be welded to the tailgate, and the other half will be welded to the actual back of the bus, to the dovetail, and that will create a hinge. And then we'll leave some gap in between some of the pieces of tubing so that we can slide a big helper spring in here that will help lift the gate up when it's all built. So I'm going to finish cutting these. I'm going to finish cutting these up into 6-inch sections, and then we can put this hinge together, get it up there, and figure out how we're going to tack all this together. Alright, so that's our tailgate all tacked in. You can see, or our ramp, sorry, vehicle ramp. It's 7 feet wide because it's only 7.5 inches between those two posts there. So we got 7 feet here on this ramp. We got to get all these tacked in a specific spot because there's these big springs that are going to come in here. I just ordered them because I'm kind of building this on the fly, and I'm trying to figure out what works. They're actually springs for a horse trailer gate. So I ordered 4 of them, and I'm gonna have enough room for 4 of them to fit in here. But we gotta make sure, because these springs have a big leg on them, and we need to make sure that the leg comes down this first spring between the tail lights here, because we don't want to run into tail lights. And then I'll have some extra room here in the middle. If we need the other two, we'll put all 4 of them in there, and or maybe 3. We'll figure it out. We'll play with it, and we'll see what happens. But for now, I just got to keep welding. I got to measure, make sure I got the right. There's a dump truck. Make sure I got the right spacing here and get these all welded in, hopefully before it starts raining again. It may not come out until it cools. I don't know. Well, it spins in there. I don't think that sucker's coming out. Not in one piece. Might have to build the ramp right on there. Yeah, that bar. Ooh, that bar is hot. See what it does.
So you don't need to jiggle? Jiggle it, jiggle it, jiggle,
no,
jiggle.
Don't jiggle it. Let's see. Okay, go all the way down. Oh.
Yeah, crank it.
It's coming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's not an easy thing to do.
Nope.
I was whacking it through up until this point. Alright, try to go up, see if it gets any easier. That's fine. All the way up, maybe? Nope, never mind, that's making it worse. You have no idea how long I worked at this just to get it that far, but thank you.
Okay.
Alright, I'm standing on the back deck of my bus, and I want to give you guys an update on what I've been doing back here. It's been a lot of work, but nothing really all that interesting. I'm kind of just putting ceiling panels in. This used to be the one that was above the driver's door. Driver's door. Above the driver's seat, or right there in the front. And I fit it back here. I had to add in this piece right here and a piece of 1/8 inch all the way across. That just added structural stability to all of this. So that's not, I mean, that was a good thing. So yeah, that allowed me to bolt that header piece up there. And then up here, I just put in this piece here. So yeah, these lights used to be in here, but I ended up I wanted to use this panel here, and I wanted more lights on my back deck. So now we have the 4 lights, and I can show you that those work. Come up here, flip that switch there, bam, got the back 2 lights and the front 2 lights. So that's what it's about right now. I'm just trying to button all this up. You can see I got this piece of I don't know what you call this, but this goes up right here, and it's to house the wiring and stuff. So that's gonna be the last step once I get all this finished bolted in. This is what I'm working on right now. You know, I put this piece up, and then I scabbed in this piece, and the holes don't line up perfectly, so I'm having to drill every one of these holes along here through the one piece of sheet metal, this one, and then run the screws in, and then I got to run some screws in over there, and then we can put this piece of channel up here once we probably cut it and make it fit better. Cap all that off, and this back deck area, both sides, obviously you got to do that side, we'll be done. Something we're gonna get to in the future we'll be replacing the skylight, or not the skylight, the emergency hatch there that leaks with this skylight. So look for that in an upcoming video. That should be pretty simple thing, but it's just another project that we got to get done to make this thing, you know, better and roadworthy. Yeah, leaks. We got to fix the leaks. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to keep trucking along here, and we're just making this thing more and more, you know, waterproof and roadworthy and all that stuff. Alright, so I'm out here trying to hang this gate today, and I was afraid something like this was going to happen. It appears as if this piece of tube here has a slight bow in it, and the hinges just aren't lining up. So like the two outside ones will kind of line up, but these three middle ones are all just a little bit too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut all 4 of these off, and I'm going to split a couple of them so that I can get the spring in the right spot, and then we'll slide the rod through all of them and we'll weld them in place there, so that way we don't have to worry about alignment. everybody. We have a ramp. Look at that thing. It's perfect. I mean, it's the angle is absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna set you guys up. We're gonna roll our first thing off of this ramp here. Let's try it out. I got everything welded up. I got to get some more paint. We got 4 springs in here. Things are kind of rubbing, so I'm hoping that they'll loosen up in the future. There you go. There's the ramp. Right now it's kind of hard to pick up. So I'm hoping that it loosens up. Right now it's a little bit difficult, but let's see. Might need to add some more springs in. I don't know, it's almost a 2-man job to lift it up at this point, which I don't want. I want it to be a 1-man deal. So I'm looking into the possibility of adding extra springs onto the ends or doing something different, but something to basically just to help it, with lifting it up. So, I mean, if there were no springs on it, I definitely couldn't lift it up like I just did. But so the next thing I gotta do is I gotta push this back up, and then we got to build a couple of stabilizer bars that go from the ramp down to the deck, just to keep it from folding back or folding in further when we're driving down the road. So that's what's coming up next. Alright, so that's it for the ramp build. Let me show you guys what I did here. I'll bring you in close, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing next. So, ended up just putting a tab here. These were actually already pre-made tabs that I had in my toolbox, so that saved me some time. 1/2-inch bolt. I need to get like a nylon locking nut to go on there, so that can be, so that doesn't come apart on me going down the road. And then we got a piece of 1-inch by 1/4-inch strapping, and then it just goes over this. This was actually a shock mount, like an old bolt set that came with a set of shocks, and I just cut this end of it off, drilled the hole for a cotter pin. I gotta go get some cotter pins, or at least another one, and this side's got the cotter pin in it. And there it is. That'll keeps the gate from going anywhere. So yeah, I gotta paint this thing, and I gotta get all my tail lights and stuff back in. So I have one more thing to do, and that is the fab work on these fenders. I gotta cut these fenders flat, and I gotta make a ramp going down them, and I think I'm gonna bring just the whole thing all the way to here, so that way you don't come like up over this thing and it's like sitting in the middle of the car, which actually would be fine, but it might screw it up. It might make it weird. So I think I'm just going to build a structure that makes this basically flat all the way to the wall, and that way the car just drives up on it and the front wheels sit on that, and we can probably put some tie downs on that. But as for the ramp and this episode, we are done here. The next episode, you're going to see me fab up those rear fenders and then finally drive a car onto this thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.